Once upon a time, two singles met online and started a podcast, the Computer Love Podcast. We back. Let's go.
What's up? 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 What's up?
What's up? What's up? What is up? I am Jay Reed, and as always, I'm accompanied by my beautiful co-host, none other than Shaquetta Shantae.
Hey, y'all.
And we are back for another episode. Actually, we are back for a brand new season, baby. We've been out for a little while, and we are back. Season 2.
Back again.
Like you never knew. See how much we grew. Got a clue? What you gonna do? So we back, and we about to there's a lot of things that have been happening, but we're gonna go into the church announcements like we always do around this time.
All right. So, guys, hey, we are back for season 2. And, I feel like it's kind of been how we felt in this pandemic with church. You haven't been to church in a while. You come back and you're like, okay, like what? I'm glad to be back in the house of the Lord one more time. So I am definitely glad to be back, just with some church announcements for the podcast, and just some general announcements as to one, always make sure that in all seasons, give thanks in all seasons. We are at the start of a new year, so this is our first one. It's the second season, but it's our first episode this year. So definitely want to say, hope and pray that it's been a good one so far.
You say we're in the start of a new year, but it's already January, February, March. So I guess it's not too far in, but
it's
like
the first episode this year.
Yeah.
So it's like catching up, like Happy New Year. What were your goals? Like what do you want to do differently? So more so of the announcements is just really catching up with you guys and just saying that we pray that you've been off to a good start. We are in March. It's like that, the first quarter is almost, it's approaching the end of a first quarter very soon. So this is a time to really reflect thus far from January to March thus far. How are things going for you? What do you want to work on? What do you want to change? What do you want to continue doing? And then I definitely want to announce that the Pump Power podcast has released since we've been on air.
Oh, yeah.
The Pump Power podcast, you guys, if you have not already done so, go find it on Apple Tunes, Spotify. It is the Pump Power Podcast, where I am your host, and I am bringing on different women.
She went solo on me, y'all. She was too big for the band.
It's purpose. And so that purpose started before. The purpose started before Jesse and I knew each other, and this is really like continuing purpose. And so definitely happy, excited that Jesse has a skill set that is really good in helping make this podcast a thing in reference to his ability to edit and really with the technical side. So it's not a solo band. They just don't see your face, and you don't always, your face and voice don't have to always be seen.
I'm a background, y'all.
You can be a background singer. So definitely check it out. It is definitely highlighting different women, their struggles, their suggestions, and their success as well. We want to definitely know all three key parts on how these ladies have been doing it, how they currently do it, how they balance it all, how are they learning to balance it all of the above. So there's been 2 episodes. Go check it out. Get caught up, because you never know who you're going to see are here, we're here because it's not a visual, it's an audio. So if you know someone that you would like to have interviewed, you believe her story is amazing, she deserves to be highlighted, please comment, share, tag her so I can get in contact with her. That's my announcement.
All right. You got some motivation for him? Give him a little bit of motivation.
Ooh, motivation. So, I love a good motivational moment. And I think what I definitely want to share and what needs to be shared is someone needs to know that there's something called rapid release. And everybody's relationship walk is different. For me, there are times when I can literally hear God's voice in different aspects according to different things. And so I was praying about something very specific, and in that thing, in that moment, because, not all conversations with God needs to be publicized. So just saying that rapid release means I don't know what somebody may be waiting on. I don't know what their thing is. It could be with child. It could be, for marriage. It could be a new job. It could be any of those things. But what I want you to understand is that even though it seemed like it's been a long time, rapid release, that it's going to happen for you rapidly. So for other people, they may see it like, oh, snap, like she's an overnight success, or oh, snap, how did he do that so quickly? When they don't really know that you've been praying for it, you've been working for it, you've been preparing for it, but it is going to happen suddenly for you. It's going to happen rapid for you. So my motivation, my moment for you is to say rapid release. Remember that as you go through your week, go through your month, that rapid release is going to happen for you.
Rapid release. Sound like a COVID test, y'all. Rapid release. Release that thing rapidly.
Well, COVID tests give you rapid results.
Rapid results.
Yeah, rapid release. God he can, he will. If he did it for me, he do it for you. If he did it for your friend, whoever you see, or whoever, it could be the person you saw on TV. Even if you're not like, so one thing that I really saw, y'all are probably familiar too with different, not even celebrities, but people on Instagram that are going around and doing like random acts of kindness. And they find someone who like doesn't know that they're being recorded, or doesn't know that their kindness is going to give them a reward. And it's like a rapid thing. It happens. So for them, they could be like, I'm just doing what I normally do. I'm just being kind. I'm just being myself. But it has a reward for it. And it was like an on time or rapid release in it. So just whatever you're waiting for, whatever, and even if you don't even realize that you've been waiting for a while, or you just started speaking that thing into existence, or believing in that you can do a certain thing, that you can finish school, or you can start school, what would have normally taken you like a year to apply, you would have the courage to go and apply and get accepted rapidly, rapid release. If you feel me, if you know that there's something that you're waiting on, believing in, and you've been waiting for a release, let me know.
Rapid, throw up them double R's, y'all. Throw up them double R's. Rapid release. All right. We about to get into the topic of the day?
No, we're not.
We are not. Oh, we're about to get into the chat room, right?
Yes.
Chat room. Let's roll.
Chat room.
What we got for the chat room?
So the question in the chat room is, how do you make time for dating? You have a busy career, perhaps you have children, you're married or single. How does a person in today's society make time for dating?
You make time for dating the same way you would make time for your dental appointment, the same way you would make time to sit down and pay your taxes, the same way you would make time to go wash your car or cut your grass or whatever other thing that you got to do to maintain the quality of your life, you make time for those things. If you feel like you can't make time for dating, then it's because there's not enough importance on dating. You don't see dating your person as being on that same level of importance as paying your taxes. Like, I got to pay my taxes or else, I'm gonna be behind and I can't move financially if I don't pay my taxes. Well, you have to look at dating the same way. If you don't date your partner, dating is an important part of bonding and creating these experiences together, and growing together. So yeah, I think it doesn't need to be expensive or anything like that, fancy. We're just saying dating in the general sense of dating, taking some time, carving out some time in your schedule to spend time together in some capacity, to where it's light, it's fun, it's connecting, and it's growing you guys together. So it doesn't mean that you got to take her out to a restaurant every weekend, or you got to go see a play every week. Or it just could be, we're going to go for a drive through the town or whatever you guys like to do. But it is important, and the way to make time for that would be to just give it the importance. You'll find that if you give it the appropriate amount of importance, you'll make time for it, just like you make time for everything else that's important in your life.
So does that change though? Like, let's say they've been dating for a while now, or they've been married. Like, should the same emphasis be put on it as when they're just beginning to learn each other? Yeah, like in the beginning.
Well, I mean, life goes through, ebbs and flows. So, no, you're not going to date the way that you dated in the beginning, because in the beginning, all you did was date. I mean, that's pretty much was all of it. Whenever you guys got together, it was dating, it was, unless you guys are like living together or, in that type of a relationship. But if you're just in a courtship, you're not shacking up, you're not like acting like you're married when you're not. Then no, once you get married, dating is going to be a little bit different, because now you have real life to tend to. So I understand, and this wouldn't even be a question if it was the same. Obviously it's different because it is different. Now you are together. Now you have life responsibilities. Now you are dealing with maybe kids, maybe whatever. Whereas before, it was just when we saw each other, it was a date pretty much. So yeah, but you just have to remember those times and bring back those memories. If when you guys got together, you guys used to, I would come over to her house and she would have some wine and we would watch a movie. Well, you got to do that every once in a while on Saturdays. Get the wine, watch a movie, and that's your date. You got to create these things. No, it's not going to be the same. Yes, there are other things that are going to get in the way, but like I said, if it's important, you'll find time for it, and if it's not important, if you don't find time for it, it may not be as important as things that you're finding time for, because you're finding time for something, So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely prioritize. Definitely is something that you have to prioritize. And yes, I definitely agree. Once you, perhaps get married, have children, that priority may drop on your list, but you have to work at it to make sure that it stays a priority. Because the dating part was probably the thing that kept you all together, that quality time in it. So I don't think that necessarily is always that like you have to do like a physical date or go somewhere or spend, like I said, X amount of money. But the act of quality, like spending quality time together, bonding and creating new moments. Because, I mean, yeah, you remember like, oh, I remember our first date, but you don't want to be thinking that's the only thing that's keeping you with that person, is because in the beginning, everything was like the dates were awesome. You have to keep those moments alive. Like it's a must, no matter how.
And dates can change. It doesn't have to be the way that it was in the beginning. So, I mean, in the beginning, you did certain things that single people do, and now maybe you do things that couples do. You hang out with other couples, you do couple stuff or whatever, like you're doing family type stuff. You take your kids out all together, or anything could be. You go to your parents' house on the weekends, and that's y'all's date. Y'all carve out some time or whatever. I don't know, but the point I'm trying to make is that your dates can evolve and become different, but they can still be dates.
Yeah, absolutely. you just have to make the time for it. And if you realize that you haven't been doing that, like, step it up. Literally.
Step your game up.
Step it up. Like, there are going to be times that you may have slacked in that area and realize that, okay, I have not, been putting that much time into dating because we've gotten really comfortable, or we've gotten to a place where, okay, we're working on other things, but we still, like you said, no matter in what capacity that you're doing it, you still need to make sure that that other individual, that other party is feeling like there is some quality time happening. So that means that there has to be conversation. And in order for there to be conversation, you have to create the atmosphere for it. After work, that may not be the best time that you feel like having a date or having that quality conversation or a time. So like I said, you have to carve out the time that is just going to be the specific time, that this is what we're going to do today at this time. It's going to be us. It's going to be quality conversation, quality time, whatever it is. Just carve out the time to do it.
And don't forget about, like spontaneity as well. Like if you one day, your lunch schedule opened up, why not ask your girl if she wants to meet up for lunch during the day, or something happened, or maybe you have a work meeting, but you're allowed to take your girl or your partner, invite her to your work function. That could be a date. Just you can fit her in, fit dates into things like that. Maybe you have an award ceremony. When I was in the military, they had award ceremonies all the time, or banquets. That could be something I got to go to, but that could also be a date. You could be spontaneous. You can find time. You can be creative. But yeah, it is good to carve out time specifically just for dating as well, as much as possible, for sure.
Yep, I agree. So that was a chat room question. I definitely believe we gave a lot to look into in reference to dating, making time for dating, no matter what your status is, in reference to single, married, with children. Like, you told them, hey, you make time to go to, a doctor's appointment, or, if you have to have a sitter or someone, carve out the time. So there's a lot that was given within that, first few minutes of how do you do it? And if there's anything else that we can kind of, add to that, or you have more specific questions, please comment. Let us know how you're doing it. If you are single, if you are married, if you are, if you have children, you have a busy career, this is a good time for you all to chime in and let us know how you're doing it, so viewers, listeners can hear from you as well and comment on what is working for them.
Yeah. We just went on a date yesterday, didn't we? It was last night or the night before? Saturday or Friday? It was
Friday night.
Friday. We didn't do anything yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday. Today's Sunday, right? Yesterday was Saturday. Oh, what did we do yesterday?
No, we didn't. We
I don't even remember, man.
No, yesterday. So
that's sad. I can't even remember what happened yesterday.
I had a little back injury, so.
Yeah, you were out shopping all day yesterday.
I went grocery shopping.
And I was napping, and then I went to the gym after.
You did some yard work. I cooked.
Yeah.
And then we're doing premarital counseling now. And so we kind of we did some work together. And then.
We are doing premarital counseling, so that's something that's going on. That's an update from us. But
yeah.
But yeah. So Friday is the day that we went on the date. And believe it or not, she actually took me out and she paid for dinner. I'm like, mind blown. But she took me to an expensive restaurant too, man. This place was expensive. It was like an oyster bar downtown Somerville. But food was good and we enjoyed. And then afterwards we went to a wine bar where they serve like cheese and meat and all that stuff, them fancy places like that. So we went to one of those joints after. But yeah, we make our time. We make our time for dating, and after we get married, and when we have kids, God willing, things will change. But we're always make time for dating.
We have family and friends and viewers that we know. Y'all got some
viewers. Yeah, y'all want to watch it. Y'all want to watch our kids. Put a comment in the comment section if y'all want to watch our kids for us, so we can go out on a date. All right.
We don't need that. at.
Holla at us. We in the Charleston area. All right. Ready for the main topic? Topic of the day?
Topic of the day.
What we got?
So, I want us to actually, the topic, I thought it was really good because it's some of the things that we are beginning to talk about in premarital counseling.
So I'll just touch on this. So we we just finished our second session of premarital counseling. We do it every Sunday, and it's 2 hours per session. So it's a pretty big commitment, and it is a religious-based marital counseling, which y'all know if y'all watch this show that I'm not the religious one in this relationship. She is. But I'm supportive. I'm supportive of anyone's beliefs. I'm just an open-minded person, and people. We live in a world where you can believe whatever you want to believe, and I'm open to that. So I'm in this marriage counseling with with an open mind and learning. But that's what we're going through. So there's a couple, a pastor and his wife who are going, and it's very scripture based. So it's interesting for me. I haven't read the Bible. I know like the popular verses that everyone knows, but I'm learning different things about marriage and the purpose of relationships, and it's all very interesting. Indeed interesting.
So I like what you said in reference to, he's like, I'm not the religious one in this thing. But what I really like about the couple that is actually doing the counseling is they will also say like, okay, we're not big on the religious part of it, but yes, they are spiritual. And I would say like, yes, religion can be something that can deter a lot of people from it, but I definitely believe that, yes, Jesus is the center of my life, and then God being like a foundation of a marriage or a relationship. And how do you do that? So I think that this is a really good opportunity, a good way to get tools and creating a solid foundation. Because when you have no foundation, you're just building it on, okay, I'm going to do it my way, you're going to do it your way. Then there's no foundation. When one person gets tired, you're just tired. So how do we come back? Like, what is it that we're going to come back to for a guide for like of how things, should be? And, what is that? And what is it that we want to teach our children or our nieces, nephews, godchildren? So it's huge. It's really huge.
I'm not saying I'm on board with everything, but I'm learning, and I'm taking what I can for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's what in anything, like when you go to school, it's certain things that's going to jump out at you that you're going to retain. I think for me being an educator, that's one thing that I realize is that learning styles is definitely important. Everybody learns differently, but I feel like when given certain tools and then you have to like apply them, then you're able to retain it differently without like, okay, I'm expecting them to like do this, A, B, C, D, D, whatever. But if there are certain things that they can apply to their own life, then you retain it. And it's something that you do want to carry forth without saying like, oh, because even if you're certified in something, you don't remember every single thing
right.
within it. You are taking the bulk of it, or you're taking what, pertains to you and seeing how you can.
You learn through repetition. That's how we learn through repetition.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to, and
how you can apply it.
Yeah.
So
what's the topic of the day?
Going into the topic of the day, it's the topic really is, how do two become one?
So we just learned about this. How to do two. So is that a Bible verse? 1 + 1 = 1, or is that just something that was in that book?
So yeah, in the book.
Oh, okay.
In the book, it really talks about like
1 + 1 = 1,
right?
Instead of 1 + 1 = 2. And the concept behind that obviously is that two people come together and they become one instead of two individual people. But what was the question?
How do two people how do you merge? How do two people become one? How do you merge like your life in so many words?
you become one. And what one thing that he said that was really that really kind of stuck out and made a lot of sense was that and this is the answer to the question, how do you become one? Excuse me real quick while I belch. All right. You become one by no longer holding on to independence. That's how you become one, and that's probably the hardest thing I think there is to do, is to no longer, because I've all my life I depend on myself. You know, I mean, I've been married before, so I depended on my wife.
But did you really?
Right.
Like when you think about it now, to like you said, how he,
yeah,
made it today, because he talked about independence and then interdependence. So
I think a lot of times I was, and even I'm just trying to figure out how to word this, but I think a lot of times maybe there was that, if this don't work out, I need to make sure I'm good. Yeah. And that's not being independent. That's being independent.
Yeah.
That's not being not independent. So yeah, I think there was a lot of that. And all right, y'all. So we had a little bit of technical difficulty with our camera, but as I was saying, being dependent or releasing your dependence, releasing your independence and becoming dependent upon your partner is, in my opinion, the way to become one. Is the way that 1 + 1 will equal 1. It's very hard to do. I know from experience, but that's why when he said that, it really stuck out. Aside from any religious basis, just the fact that to be one is to be dependent upon each other, not to be independent. Because when you're going to a relationship and you still want to maintain your independence, then that is a recipe for hard times to come. And I know that could be very controversial, and I may have to sit and think on this one, because I may have a different opinion later. But right now, having gone through our session with them, it makes a lot of sense, and I do believe that that is important. But it's hard. It's hard. And you want your independence, you don't want to lose your independence, but I don't think losing your independence means that you have to lose who you are. But if you're always keeping that one foot out, that door open, so that you can, have a safe route out, or have that backup plan, then are you really fully, invested and committed to this?
That's what that's the big thing. And for me, becoming one, and when you're looking at independence and dependency on another individual, I think is much bigger than a financial thing, because you are becoming dependent upon them for like some of your emotional
I wouldn't even talk about
needs,
financial, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, because I think when anybody first think of I'm independent, you're not really looking at the emotional makeup of it as well. You're just looking at, I'm good. Like, I've been doing it by myself. Like,
or even like sexual. Like, I rely on my husband for sex, and you may be like, if he don't give it to me, I can get it from somewhere else. That's not being independent either.
Right.
Well, that's being independent too.
Right. Yeah. So you have to look at it at all, like from every angle of we're becoming one. We're becoming one in the aspect of like, when he hurts, I hurt. Like, if I see, for me, that's what I see when I look at becoming one. That means we can feel each other's pain.
You on some twin stuff? Some what do they call that when two twins can feel like it's not. What do they call it? ESP,
yeah, like
ESP
they can,
or whatever.
right? But essentially, if you're one with someone, then you can see when something is hurting them, or something like their day is off. You're able to really see when things are not right with them, and you should be able to, know in reality is somebody can't fulfill every single thing, or every single area, or every single checkbox. But what it is saying is that, like you said, letting go of, I'm good by myself. Like, I don't really need you. I'm here because I want to be here. That's the part of that, like, independency, that, hurt, that scar that's like still kind of lingering around, that I'm never going to put myself back in that, position to be hurt again if you've been hurt before. So becoming one is, no, I'm not going to want to hurt this individual, because if I hurt her, I'm hurting me too.
Because you guys are one.
Because we're one.
Yeah.
That's just like, as I'm, sitting
that's
there.
Some deep. That's some next level stuff right there. That's some next level. A lot of people are not going to be ready to even accept that, but it's true, and that's some deep next level. It's going to take some time to really let that sink in. So
and I think
that ain't easy to just swallow.
It's not. I'm grateful that when I hear, like, people that are married, that have been married for a while, in conversation without the words that I just said, or the words that, we learned today, that's what they were saying. Like, that's their, how becoming one is. Like, I had to let go of my expectations. I had to let go of, just my selfishness and find what was best for us, because it's no longer one, it's we. And I think that when we're able to, have just a good model of friends or people, like, because I think we both know people that have been married a long time, but we're able to sit down and we can have conversations with them. Like when we went to, the Dominican Republic, and we were able to, sit down with some friends, and they've been married.
Yeah, so we went to the Dominican just like a side track real quick. So we went to the Dominican Republic, and going to this is the first time I've been to the Dominican Republic. I'm like, oh, we about to wild out. Yo, this turned into like a straight up like Sunday school session, like some type of couple spiritual retreat. And I'm sitting there like, what did I sign up for? But it was cool. It was
you
cool.
were laughing because you were like, "Oh, this is right up your alley."
Right, I'm like, she loving this. She loving this stuff. But I was just happy just to be reconnecting with old high school friend and that. But it was cool. I mean, whatever.
It was funny because you definitely were like,
"Yeah, we was having, yep."
But it was really good because
and it wasn't planned. It just where the topic went, and all of a sudden, because all of y'all are like real spiritual, so I was the oddball out. But it didn't take much for it to lead that way. Because y'all was all in for that conversation.
We were like, okay, so his friend was like, so we good now? Like, so you good with me now? I was like, okay, I see. But he and his wife have been married for going on 15 years. And then the other couple, they've been married going on like 15 years too. So it's always good to see that, because when you're just starting out, or even when you are in a place where you are already married, but maybe things aren't at the best place right now, you're not in the best season, you can start feeling like you're by yourself, that nobody else understands what it is that you're going through. But when you are able to surround yourself with other couples that are married or in relationships or have a desire for those things, then the conversation changes versus someone who is just straight about being myself, staying independent, then the conversations will also be different. So you need to
have positive couples.
I need to have positive conversations that really help lay the foundation, or if your foundation has already laid, that will be building blocks to building a stronger foundation and keeping that growth going. So chime in, let us know what you think it means to become.
What does 1 + 1 = 1 mean to you?
Yeah. How do you do it? How do you do it? How have you done it? I would really like to hear from.
Or if you haven't done it and you disagree and you think that being
I didn't even get my thoughts.
Well, they know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
No, because I was asking them. We really would like to hear from some couples. Like, I don't care if you've been dating for a year or two, and you're about to, propose, or if you've been married 5 years, 10 years. but specifically, I would like to hear from married couples. And how did the two of you become one? What did that really look like? So if you could chime in, please let us know. If you send a video, we will definitely post it to the page. If you send in like a short clip, it doesn't have to be the both of you, but if you want to send in a short clip of how two people can become one, we will post it to our page if we get some, or if you just want to comment below, how do two become one? We would definitely love to hear some suggestions.
And I want to hear if you have not become one and you are living independently, and it's working. I want to hear how that's working out for you, as well, because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So let me know what your thoughts are on that as well. I want to hear all angles so I can make the best decision.
I just don't see it. Honestly, I just don't see how.
So that's why I want somebody to share. So maybe it might be something
independent. Like,
I mean,
we had that conversation too. That if two people are living independent lives, what does that look like? Y'all are just in passing and sharing a certain amount of space together.
'Cause you got your own thing going. I mean, it's not that you can't. You got your. It's not that you can't have your own thing. Like, you got your own job. I got my own job. You got your own goals. I have my own goals. But, so I mean, first of all, this ain't even about us, because we got work to do on our own. So
everybody has work to do.
But
so we ain't saying that.
I'm just, so it's like maybe because we have our own jobs. You have your own podcast, but I support you with that. But even if you had something that I wasn't a part of, would that be wrong?
So I think it's the interdependence in it. Like you said, it's okay, having something on my own, you're still a part of it. I don't think that, like, there are still times, like you said, okay, you probably go grab something to eat by yourself, because you're on lunch. But that doesn't mean that we're not one, because we're not doing every single thing together. But I do think the emotional part of it, like, you are considering that person at all times, makes you dependent upon them, because now you're making decisions depending upon how it would affect the other limb or your other half. So I can't see it. I don't want to see how, because I think at some point there'll be a breakdown if you're trying to live.
I'm just, I just like to hear both sides.
Yeah, definitely. I'll read it. I'll be. I say to share it, not saying don't share it, but I can see where it would still be some type of tension or some type of breakdown in communication or something where if you're trying to live as one, two, there's like a tug of war somewhere happening in the relationship or marriage. Yeah. But we definitely want to hear from you, because I think it's a really good topic, and not only is it a good topic, but it's real. It's reality. It's some things that happens often.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's close this Mama Gemma out.
Closing question.
What we got for the closing question?
What is the closing question?
That's what I'm asking you.
The closing question for today is, has dating changed in 2022, in your opinion?
From when?
So even from, because the world is starting to open up a little bit. Now we're still in a pandemic, but we outside, I guess. Has it changed from what you can see? Have you heard from any friends, or has anyone complained or said I think it's getting better? Has dating changed in 2022?
You said opposed to when again? I'm sorry.
Like at the beginning of the pandemic. We'll just start from there.
I don't know. I ain't been dating. I've been with you ever since then. I don't know. I ain't been out there like that.
Right. Well, that's good.
I could tell you if I was out, but out there. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't know. Y'all got to answer that one, but I don't know.
So, from what I'm hearing, like from girlfriends who are, still dating, it's been funny for them. They're
I don't
like,
surround myself with single people anymore. That's dangerous. And you
So that's
shouldn't either.
dangerous?
You shouldn't either.
oh, please. No, because we have a greenhouse. And when people come in our greenhouse.
You can't just throw up terms that we learned that they don't, like, audience like, what the hell is she talking about?
No, they're not saying that. But, you know, with the greenhouse, I'm just saying that I knew that you would understand exactly what I was talking
That's
about.
just a term that we learned today. So y'all,
But just that was a little inside joke for us, because him saying in reference to like not, you know, being single. When I see my friends, because see, I was single before, and I had a lot of married friends. So that prepared me. It gave me hope. So if you all you have is single, like you have people, specifically single women. I can't speak for single men. But most single women, they don't want to be single. It's not like, oh, I'm single, I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's what it look like.
But in your singleness, you should be able to enjoy that season. But that's not a season that you want to stay in. You don't want to dwell in that season. So if somebody, you know, that's, let's say 30 and up, I would even say there's probably some late 20s. It's like, okay, I want to have a family. I want to have, you know, a husband. I want to create my legacy, or whatever the case may be. Your conversations are a little different. So you're going to be placing yourself around people where the conversation is different. You're going to go places. I heard this on the radio too. Like single people, like where should single people go at? Should you go to, you know, and we talked about this in episode 1. Should you go to Starbucks? Will they be in Starbucks? Like people that are wanting different things, not the people that are single, want to be single and have no, you know, expectation of wanting to be in a relationship, but the people that desire it. Like, okay, I'm not, you know, I'm single. I'm not bitter about it. I'm enjoying the season I'm in, but I definitely want more. I think for those people, it has changed a bit, because I think when you're in the pandemic taught a lot to a lot of people in saying that, you know, when the world closed down, you had to find different methods of communication. You had to like go back to the basics when you were inside. And now that you're kind of like the world is opening back up and back outside, I think that for some people, the priority may be changing. The weather is starting to get a little cooler. Get it a little warmer. So they may be like, okay, I'm back outside, and that priority to be in a relationship may have fallen lower than.
So yeah, it's kind of like it was like the pandemic was like cuffing season, just a long extended version of cuffing season, and now cuffing season is over. So we about to hit them streets.
Yeah, that could definitely be. And so to each his own. But I think to answer that question, has it changed? I'm sure it has, because the seasons change. Like seasons change, time change. Like now it's getting, you know, darker a little later. So
which is going to be a permanent thing, because I hear that that's becoming law. So that's going to be a permanent thing, which is, in my opinion, is nice. I like them long days.
Yeah. So I just, you know, I think for that person that wants a relationship, that is desiring it, and you're feeling like, like I'm getting duds. I'm not getting anywhere. You know, just know that sometimes it takes a little longer. It takes longer. And I know sometimes you maybe feel like I've been at this thing. Like I've been in the pandemic. Nothing, got no hits out of that. Like, or I thought it was going to be and it did not, you know, work. So I just think that in that time and in that moment, just continue trying to grow oneself. And it's like to really, you know, becoming more in tune with the things that you do like. The things that you enjoy doing that are important to you. So when you are connecting with another individual, you can communicate that clearly. And
a lot of it, go ahead.
Yeah, just to say you can communicate that clearly. And so knowing when you go on that first date and he asks you, like, what do you like doing? It's not something that you're like, shoot. What do I like doing? Right. Because a lot of times you don't know if you haven't really spent time figuring out what it is that you like to do. Or the things that interest you.
I'd have forgot what I was gonna say on that part. So, no,
do you want to do this and that? Oh, go ahead.
I just think that a lot of times that people I think a lot of times their expectations are too high. Because I truly believe that there's somebody for everybody. Like, even the most, you might look at this person and think, how is this person ever going to get, or how did they ever get this person, or whatever. Or you might think, wow, they're perfect for each other, or something like that. But I think there's somebody for everybody. And I think that the person that may be for you is not the person that you really want. Because maybe the person that is for you is not 6 foot tall. But you're not looking at anybody who's less than 6 foot tall. So maybe your expectations are, because that might. I mean, you disagree with that?
No, I think we should be very careful when we say expectations are too high, because there are some things that should be like non-negotiables. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
if you're talking about like physical attributes, that there are some things like that you can't.
Or like, I ain't dating nobody with a kid, but maybe the man with the child is what is for you. Maybe that's the one that's supposed to be for you, but you're like, nope. So I think that what was that joke that she said today? Like the lady died and went to heaven and said, why didn't you give? Or she was talking to God and said, God, why didn't you send me a husband? He said, I did, but you told him that his belt was too cheap or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, that's true. Like, the person that's for you might not be the person that you think you really want.
So I think I 100% agree, because I think we all laughed at that today. It was like, I've heard that before, and it's so true. I really want for people to understand is that, with time, some of those things may change. Like you said, in reference to like the child thing, because I 100%, I was one of those people. And that was fine when I was 25, because there were probably a lot more men.
It was just me. I mean, it was just me.
Oh, child.
It was just me.
No. But the reality in that, for me, with you having children, that wasn't an issue, was that I was clear on that I'm not going to do baby mama drama. All right, like, so that's the difference. I think that you have to be clear in what it is that you. So most people, when they say they don't want men with a woman with children or men with children, it's probably because there's some type of like what comes with it.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're older and you're growing older, then you're able to realize that, hey, if he has or she has one child and she's, it's a cohesive, thing, and it's not I think they still, together, or he want to go back or she want to go back. I think those are the things that people really shy away from it. But again, you have to sometimes revisit some of those expectations. What were those expectations?
Or why are
they there?
Why do you even have those, So
why are they there?
Yeah. All right, so as we always do on this show, we ask a random question just to have a little bit of fun, a hypothetical question. So you know what time it is.
You know what time it is. It's time for hypothetical questions with Jesse and Shaquetta.
All right, so the hypothetical question for today is, if someone were to narrate your life, who would it be? You walk in and Shaquetta wakes up from an unrestful sleep. And she debates, is she going to carry on with her morning ritual of prayer and workout, or yes, she does. She decides to, so she gets up. So who's going to narrate your life story?
That is funny. Somebody that has a good voice and a good characterization, like somebody that can.
I could see probably like Oprah narrating, or like
I would probably Michelle like a Michelle Obama.
Oprah narrating your life story.
I would do definitely Michelle Obama for sure.
My life story, I could see who's the dude from light skinned dude from what was that the movie, like Hustle and Flow? Was Hustle and Flow? Where the rap where
you
man.
why his name is on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
But we know who you were talking about.
Because he always
from
talks the same way.
Yeah,
and whenever you see him, he has the same accent, same voice, same.
Yeah.
So I like the way he talks. I think that
he would be funny too.
Hey, man, you know, Jesse waking up in the morning. Nigga got some good rest. He about to hit this day. You ready, fool? Hit this day. Yo, I don't know. Like I can just see, you know, him narrating about like he walking into work. You know, he ain't really in the mood for all this nonsense, but he going there anyways. So,
that's hilarious. I can definitely see him doing yours too.
So Jesse's hungry. He could order DoorDash. Oh yeah, he going for them ribs again. You know how he?
No, it's not. That's not going to be like a straight like monotone. It's going to be some. Hey man, it's going to be some craziness.
He getting that sauce on the ribs this time.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be just like.
He going out. He breaking his diet. He got some fries with his food.
He got 13 cookies.
He don't normally do that. You know, he don't normally do that. Must be something going on with him today. He got a lot on his mind, man.
That's funny. Yeah, he would. I could definitely see.
Hey, I gotta find out his name though, so I give him the proper respect.
Right, we have to do that because his name is on the tip of my tongue.
Lawrence,
he and
Fishburne.
He and Taraji P Henson were like so dope in that movie together. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, I don't know why his name is, but yeah, we'll give him that shout out too. But I think that's it. That's episode 1, season 2.
Season 2, episode 1, y'all. How we do? We come correct? We bring it back? I hope we did.
Let's know.
That's what y'all getting. We out, y'all.